General Michael Hayden has a singular security pedigree. He's the only person to lead both the CIA and the National Security Agency. Hayden says he's concerned about the growing threat of cyber terrorism. He spoke with Diane at a federal summit in Washington, D.C.
We are incredibly aggressive in the cyber domain. We steal other nations' data. Now, I quickly add the caveat, we steal things to keep you free and keep you safe. We do not steal anything to make you rich.
General Michael Hayden, the former director of the CIA and former head of the NSA, says most other nation states include economic advantage in their definition of national security.
I did an interview before I came in here, and they talked to me about, who's the big danger out there? And I said, well, the Chinese have scale. The Russians have skill. Okay? The Chinese, I've been saying this since I left government, I stand back in awe at the breadth, depth, and persistence of the Chinese espionage effort against the United States. But I don't mention sophistication. Okay, there are others more sophisticated.
Speaking at the Gigamon Federal Cybersecurity Summit, Hayden told the crowd the Sony attack was not only destructive, it was scary. He says the hackers were sending threatening notes to Sony employees.
The way I tell the story is I grew up in Pittsburgh, north side there down by the river. Most frightening thing I ever heard as a teenager was, I know where you live and I know what kind of car you drive. Okay? Sony North America employees were getting those notes. I know where you live, I know what kind of car you drive, I know where your daughter goes to school. And you can imagine the emotional impact.
He also touched on the massive 2015 Office of Personnel and Management data breach. It compromised the personal information of some 21.5 million current, former, and prospective federal employees and contractors.
I don't blame the Chinese for doing this. Frankly, if I could have done this against the comparable Chinese database, I'd have done it in a heartbeat, because that actually is legitimate foreign intelligence information. I suspect that we've got an awful lot of very talented nation states who have penetrated our government's networks, and they have not yet been detected.
But what keeps Hayden up at night? He considers rogue attacks to be the biggest future threat to U.S. cybersecurity.
The combination of most destructive and most likely, I would put it Sony North America plus, the isolated renegade, nothing to lose, let's roll the dice kind of nation state, not the catastrophic 9/11 cyber Pearl Harbor, but what we in the military would call a destructive demonstration attack, in which one of these actors is kind of saying, your actions internationally are not without cost. You're vulnerable as well.
For Government Matters, I'm Diane.